They told you he was a monster. They built an entire word around his name. Machiavellian. It meant evil. It meant ruthless. It meant soulless manipulation. But what if I told you that was the point? What if the most powerful lie ever told was not that Machiavelli was dangerous, but what kind of dangerous he actually was? What if everything you learned about him in school, every reference in movies, every casual use of his name as an insult was deliberate propaganda designed to keep you away from something? Not away from evil. Away from truth. Here's what they don't want you to know. Machiavelli wasn't writing a villain's handbook. He was exposing one. And the people he exposed made sure you'd never read him correctly. They turned his name into a warning label so effective that for 500 years, men have avoided the very knowledge that could free them. You've been lied to. And now you're about to find out why. But before we go further, before I show you what they buried, I need to know you're serious. Because this isn't entertainment. This isn't another video you half-watch while scrolling. If you're still operating on the lies, if you're still asleep to how power actually works, you'll waste the next hour of your life and learn nothing. But if you're ready, if something in you knows you've been fed comfortable myths while other men learned uncomfortable truths, then subscribe right now. Not later. Now. Because men who hesitate are men who follow. And I can already tell which one you've been. Prove me wrong. Hit subscribe. Or close this video and go back to sleep. Still here. Good. That already separates you. Let's begin with the first lie. The first lie they told you Machiavelli wanted you to be evil. They taught you he was cynical, immoral, a teacher of tyranny. They made sure that when you heard his name, you thought of cartoon villains stroking white cats and plotting world domination. That was the cover story. Here's what actually happened. In 1513, a man sat in exile. Niccolò Machiavelli. Once a diplomat, now broken, tortured, literally, thrown from power when the Medici family reclaimed Florence. He had seen courts up close, watched princes lie to allies before breakfast and execute loyalists before dinner. He had watched good men lose and brutal men win, not sometimes, but consistently. And he asked a question no one was supposed to ask out loud. Why? Not why is this wrong? Why does this work? So he wrote it down. He wrote The Prince. Not as a guide for how to be evil, but as a manual for how power actually operates when you remove the pretty language. He described what rulers actually do, not what they say they do. And that was the crime. Not that he endorsed cruelty. That he made it visible. Think about that. The crime wasn't the cruelty. It was the clarity. The people in power, the ones already using these tactics, they couldn't allow a book explaining their methods to sit on every shelf. So they did what power always does when threatened with exposure. They didn't ban it. That would make it more interesting. They poisoned it. They turned Machiavelli into a symbol of evil itself, so that anyone who read him seriously would be morally suspect. It was brilliant, and it worked for 5 centuries. You inherited that poison. Right now, even as you listen, part of you is uncomfortable. Part of you is wondering if learning this makes you a bad person. That's the residue of the lie. That feeling in your chest? That's not your conscience. That's their training. Comment below right now, yes or no, do you feel that discomfort? Be honest. That's the first step. Awareness. And if you haven't subscribed yet, if you're still watching without committing, ask yourself why. What are you afraid of? That you'll learn something that changes you? You should be. Subscribe. Let me show you how deep this goes. The second lie, morality and power are the same thing. Here's what they taught you. Good people succeed by being good. Karma is real. Justice prevails. The arc of history bends toward fairness. These are beautiful lies. Machiavelli didn't say they were worthless. He said they were separate from power. And that confusion, that deliberate mixing of morality with power, keeps you weak. Listen carefully. Morality is about what should be. Power is about what is. Machiavelli studied what is. He looked at Florence, at Rome, at France, at the Vatican itself, and he saw that the language of virtue and the mechanics of control were not just different, they were often opposite. The rulers who spoke most about God often poisoned most frequently. The kings who praised loyalty often betrayed first. He wasn't saying murder your way to the top. He was saying if you don't understand that others are willing to, you'll be murdered. There's a difference between endorsing a game and explaining its rules. But they taught you he endorsed it. Why? Because if you understand the rules, you stop being a piece on the board. You become a player. And they need pieces, not players. The system you live in right now, today, requires you to believe that virtue equals success. Work hard and you'll be rewarded. Be kind and people will be kind back. Tell the truth and you'll be trusted. These aren't strategies. They're sedatives. They keep you compliant while men who understand Machiavelli, really understand him, move around you. Your boss knows this. The politicians you vote for know this. The influencers you follow, the entrepreneurs you admire, they know this. They just don't say it out loud. And when someone does, when someone like Machiavelli writes it plainly, the system turns him into a monster so you never read closely. Have you seen this in your own life? A moment where someone less skilled, less honest, less deserving moved ahead of you because they understood something you didn't? Comment the word seen if that's happened. I want to know you're connecting this. Now here's where it gets dangerous. The third lie: you're supposed to play fair while others don't. Machiavelli wrote this line, and they made sure you never thought about it too long. A man who wants to act virtuously in every way necessarily comes to grief among so many who are not virtuous. Read that again. He's not telling you to be ruthless for fun. He's telling you that unilateral virtue is suicide. If you play by rules others ignore, you're not noble. You're food. But the system needs you to play fair. It needs you to signal your moves, announce your intentions, apologize for your ambition. It needs you telegraphing weakness and calling it authenticity. Because when you do that, you're predictable. And predictable men are controllable men. Machiavelli said the opposite. He said appear one way while being another. Seem merciful while staying ready for violence. Look collaborative while keeping your true goal hidden. And for that, they called him a snake. But tell me, when you negotiate your salary, do you tell your employer your absolute lowest acceptable number first? No. You hide it. You appear flexible while knowing your line. That's Machiavellian. You already do this. You just feel guilty about it because they trained you to. The guilt is the control mechanism. Every time you feel bad for setting a boundary, for hiding your strategy, for not giving someone full transparency into your thoughts, that's the lie working. That's the programming saying good people don't do that. But successful people do. Powerful people do. The people running the world do it every single day and sleep fine. So why can't you? Here's the trap. They want you collaborative, vulnerable, honest. They reward those behaviors socially. You get likes for authenticity, applause for openness. But notice who holds actual power. Notice who runs the companies, who shapes the laws, who builds the wealth. Is it the most transparent people? Or is it the ones who control information, who move in silence, who let others believe what's useful? You know the answer. Comment it. Who actually wins in the real world? The loudest or the quietest? If you're starting to feel something shift, if the way you see your job, your relationships, your own choices is cracking open, subscribe now. Because this is just the surface. And most people will click away soon because comfort is easier than truth. Don't be most people. Let me take you deeper. The fourth lie: Machiavelli was talking about politics, not your life. This is how they contained him. They put him in history class. Made him about Renaissance Italy. About princes and city-states. About a time long dead. That way you could study him without applying him. You could write essays about him without letting him change you. But Machiavelli wasn't writing about politics. He was writing about human nature. And human nature doesn't change. The dynamics he described in 1513 are the same dynamics in your office, your family, your social circle right now. The same fear. The same ambition. The same gap between what people say and what people do. Every workplace has a prince. Someone whose favor determines your rise or fall. Every friend group has alliances and betrayals. Every relationship has power dynamics, spoken or not. Machiavelli gave you the manual for all of it. But they convinced you it was only about old dead kings, so you'd never use it on a living system. Let me prove it to you. Machiavelli said it's better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. You were taught that's cruel. But think about your life. The bosses you loved, did you always meet their deadlines? Or did you sometimes slack because you knew they'd forgive you? Now think about the boss you feared. Did you ever miss their deadline? No. You delivered. Fear drove performance. Love permitted laziness. He wasn't saying be a tyrant. He was saying if you need results and you can only pick one, fear is more reliable than affection. That's not evil. That's pattern recognition. Or take this one. Machiavelli said never do minor harms. If you must harm, do it all at once and be done with it. Sounds brutal. But look at your relationships. When you slowly pull away from someone, breadcrumb rejection, half ghost them, is that kinder than a clear, quick break? No. It's prolonged pain. Machiavelli would say if you're ending it, end it cleanly. The slow torture isn't mercy. It's cowardice dressed as kindness. See how this applies. He's not teaching you political strategy. He's teaching you how humans actually operate under pressure. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Comment one area of your life where you've been playing by fake rules. Work, dating, family, friendship. Let me know you're tracking. And if this is hitting you differently than you expected, if you came here thinking this would be about manipulation, but it's really about clarity, subscribe. Tell the algorithm you want more truth, less comfort. Now let's go even deeper. The fifth lie: being loved is safer than being feared. You've been told your whole life that if people like you, you're safe. Make friends. Be agreeable. Don't rock the boat. Smile. Apologize. Seek approval. They said that's how you survive. Machiavelli said that's how you become dependent. Here's the distinction they hid from you. Love is conditional. It lasts as long as the other person benefits. The moment you stop providing value, safety, entertainment, status, the love fades. But fear, correctly applied, doesn't fade. It's based on capability, not affection. People may stop liking you, but if they know what you're capable of, if they respect your boundaries because you've enforced them, that doesn't dissolve. Now pause. I'm not saying terrorize people. That's the straw man they set up to discredit this. I'm saying this. If your relationships are built only on being nice, you're one disagreement away from collapse. But if they're built on respect, on clear consequences, on demonstrated follow-through, they survive conflict. The boss everyone loves but nobody respects gets walked over. The parent who only seeks their child's approval loses authority. The friend who never says no gets used. You've seen this. You've maybe been this. Machiavelli observed that loved leaders get betrayed the moment it's convenient. But feared leaders, the ones with clear boundaries and enforced consequences, maintain loyalty not from affection but from rational calculation. People stay because leaving costs too much. You do this already in small ways. When you set a boundary and actually enforce it, people adjust. When you make a threat and follow through once, you rarely have to repeat it. That's fear, not terror. Just the knowledge that you mean what you say. But you were taught that's mean. That's toxic. That's controlling. So you stop enforcing. You warn without consequences. You set boundaries without walls. And then you wonder why people don't respect them. The lie was that love keeps you safe. The truth is respect keeps you safe. And respect comes from demonstrated strength, not demonstrated niceness. Have you ever been too nice and it backfired? Comment the word burnt if you've been burned by your own kindness. I need to know this is landing. Here's where most people break. They realize they've been operating from weakness while calling it virtue. And that hurts. If that's you right now, good. Pain means you're waking up. Subscribe and stay with me. It gets better. But first it has to get honest. Let me show you the next layer. The sixth lie: you should keep your word no matter what. Machiavelli wrote, "A prudent ruler cannot and should not keep his word when it would be to his disadvantage, and the reasons that made him promise are no longer relevant. They turned that into proof he was a liar, a cheat, untrustworthy." But read it again. He's not saying lie for fun. He's saying conditions change. And rigid loyalty to an old promise in a new context is stupidity, not honor. You promised to stay loyal to a company. Then they cut your pay. Are you bound? You committed to a friendship. Then they betrayed you. Do you still owe them transparency? You agreed to terms under certain assumptions. Those assumptions proved false. Are you locked in? The world tells you yes. Honor your word. A man is only as good as his promise. They frame rigidity as integrity. But Machiavelli saw that powerful people renegotiate constantly. They just don't announce it. They shift, adapt, reframe. And they call it strategy when they do it, but betrayal when you do. That's the trick. They want you bound by old agreements while they operate with fluid pragmatism. Your loyalty becomes their leverage. Here's the nuance. Machiavelli didn't say be dishonest. He said appear honest. Cultivate a reputation for honesty because it's useful. But privately, remain flexible. Because the person who can break a rule when necessary while maintaining the appearance of consistency, that person survives. The person who rigidly keeps every promise even when it destroys them, that person gets eulogized, not promoted. Look at business. Contracts have exit clauses. Marriages have divorces. Treaties have expiration dates. The system itself admits that conditions change. But you, individually, are told to be absolutely loyal or you're a bad person. See the trap. You're held to a standard the system itself doesn't follow. Machiavelli said see that clearly. Operate within it. Don't be naive. If the situation shifts and your old promise now serves someone else at your expense, renegotiate. Not with cruelty, with calm pragmatism. That's not evil. That's survival. Comment adapt if you've ever stayed in something too long because you gave your word, even when the other side already changed the terms. I want to see how many of you have been trapped by this. Still here? Then you're serious. Most click off by now. The truth has a filter effect. It keeps the curious and repels the comfortable. If you haven't subscribed, do it now. This only gets more intense. Let's continue. The seventh lie: generosity builds loyalty. Machiavelli said something that sounds insane at first. He said if you're too generous, you'll breed resentment, not loyalty. You'll run out of resources, have to take them back, and be hated. But if you're selectively generous, occasional and strategic, each gift has weight. They told you the opposite. Give freely. Be abundant. Karma will reward you. People will remember. But watch what actually happens. Give someone everything and they forget the first gifts. They expect the next one. And the moment you stop, they don't remember what you gave. They resent what you withheld. You've lived this. You helped someone again and again. Then one time you couldn't. And that one time became the only thing they remembered. The 10 times before evaporated. That's not ingratitude. That's human nature. Machiavelli understood it. You were told to ignore it. Contrast that with the person who helps rarely but decisively. When they show up, it matters. It's remembered. It creates debt. Not the monetary kind. The social kind. The kind that builds alliances. This applies everywhere. The parent who gives their kid everything raises entitlement. The parent who gives strategically raises appreciation. The leader who rewards constantly creates expectation. The leader who rewards unpredictably creates motivation. Machiavelli wasn't saying be stingy. He was saying value is contextual. Scarcity creates worth. Abundance creates entitlement. But you were taught generosity is always good. So you gave your time, energy, money, attention without strategy. And people took it without gratitude. Then you felt used. And you were. Not because they're bad. Because you didn't understand the mechanism. The mechanism is this. Humans value what costs them. What comes free, even if valuable, registers as low worth. It's not fair. It's not noble. But it's true. So if you want loyalty, don't buy it with gifts. Earn it with respect. Give when it's strategic. Withhold when it's wise. And never ever give so much that you weaken yourself to strengthen someone else. That last part is key. Machiavelli said a prince must never make someone so powerful that he needs them more than they need him. Because the moment the balance tips, you're not the leader. You're the hostage. Have you made someone so important to your life that you lost your leverage? A partner, a friend, a boss? Comment hostage if you've ever felt that flip. Let's normalize admitting it. And if you're realizing you've been giving your power away in the name of goodness, subscribe. There's a way out. I'm showing you. Now this next one is going to sting. The eighth lie: people will appreciate your mercy. Machiavelli watched merciful rulers get destroyed. Not sometimes. Consistently. And he asked why. He realized mercy, when given to people who see it as weakness, doesn't create gratitude. It creates contempt. Here's the pattern. A ruler spares an enemy, shows compassion, offers a second chance. The enemy doesn't think, how noble. They think, he's weak. He won't finish me. I have time. And they plot again. And the merciful ruler, shocked, gets betrayed. And everyone says, how could they? After all that mercy. Machiavelli says, easily. Because you taught them you don't follow through. This is in your life right now. You forgave someone who hurt you. Gave them another chance. And they hurt you again. Not because they're uniquely evil. Because your mercy taught them there's no cost. You signaled that boundaries are negotiable. So they negotiated. The alternative isn't cruelty. It's clarity. Mercy is a gift, not a right. It's given once, strategically, and never to someone who's already shown they'll exploit it. After that, consequences. Swift. Certain. Unapologetic. But you were taught forgiveness is infinite. Turn the other cheek. Everyone deserves a second chance. That's fine spiritually. It's suicide strategically. Because the person hitting you doesn't stop because you're virtuous. They stop because it costs them. Machiavelli said if you must punish, do it quickly and completely. Don't drag it out. Don't half punish. Don't leave the enemy wounded but alive. Because a wounded enemy becomes a motivated enemy. Either forgive fully and move on, or remove the threat entirely. The middle ground, the place where you punish a little and hope they learn, that's where you lose. This applies to firing employees, ending relationships, cutting off toxic family. The long, drawn-out, guilt-ridden process where you try to let them down easy, that's not kindness. That's you avoiding discomfort while prolonging theirs. Machiavelli would say decide and act. Clean. Fast. Then done. The guilt you feel when doing this? That's the lie again. That's the training that says you're bad for having boundaries with teeth. Ignore it. The guilt is designed to keep you weak. Comment mercy if you've ever been betrayed after showing compassion. I guarantee I'm not alone in this. And if you're starting to understand why powerful people don't operate the way you were told to, subscribe. You're learning the hidden curriculum. The one they don't teach in school because if they did, you'd be dangerous. Let's go further. The ninth lie: the truth will set you free. Machiavelli said most people are simple. They judge by appearances. They believe what they see, not what is. So the wise person controls appearances and lets others believe what's useful. That's not the same as lying. It's understanding that truth is often irrelevant to perception. And perception determines how people treat you. So managing perception is managing reality. You do this constantly. You dress for the job you want, not the one you have. Why? Because appearance influences opportunity. You smile at people you dislike because social smoothness has value. You post the good parts of your life online, not the struggles. That's curation. That's appearance management. That's Machiavellian. But you feel guilty about it. Because you were told authenticity is everything. Be yourself. Speak your truth. Let people see the real you. And every time you don't, you feel like a fraud. Here's the reality. The real you is no one's business. What you show is a choice. A strategy. The person who overshares, who performs vulnerability, who mistakes transparency for connection, that person gives away leverage. Because now you know their fears, their limits, their weaknesses. And whether you exploit that or not, someone will. Machiavelli said, keep your inner world private. Show people what serves your goal. If being seen as kind is useful, appear kind. If being seen as ruthless is useful, appear ruthless. But what you actually are, what you actually think, that stays yours. This is why powerful people are so hard to read. They've mastered the gap between appearance and reality. You see the press conference, the interview, the curated image. You never see the backroom, the calculation, the real motive. And you were taught that's fake. That's phony. Real people are open books. But open books get read and discarded. Mysteries get protected and pursued. So stop telling everyone everything. Stop explaining yourself. Stop justifying your choices to people who didn't ask and won't help. Start moving in silence. Start letting your results speak. Start being the person others can't quite figure out. The discomfort you feel at that idea. That's the final layer of control. They made mystery feel like dishonesty so you'd stay transparent. And transparent people are controllable people. Comment silent if you're ready to move differently. If you're done performing for an audience that doesn't pay you. And if this is rewiring how you see power, image, and control, subscribe now. You're almost at the shift point. The place where knowledge becomes identity. Stay with me. The 10th lie you need everyone to understand you. Here's one they buried deep. Machiavelli said trying to be liked by everyone is the fastest way to be respected by no one. Because universal approval requires constant compromise. And constant compromise erases identity. You've been trying to make everyone understand your choices, your boundaries, your reasons. And when they don't, you over-explain. You justify. You seek validation. And the more you do, the less they respect the choice. Machiavellian power says this: decide, act, and let others interpret. You don't owe an explanation. You don't need consensus. The need for approval is the leash they use to walk you. Think about the last time you set a boundary. Did you defend it with paragraphs? Did you justify why you deserve it? That's weakness. Not because boundaries are weak, but because defended boundaries are questioned boundaries. The strong boundary is stated once and enforced silently. No is a complete sentence. Machiavelli understood that. You were taught to pad it with reasons, apologies, reassurances. All of that is negotiation. And if you're negotiating your no, it's not a no. It's a maybe. Powerful people don't explain. They decide and move. If others follow, good. If not, irrelevant. The outcome matters. The approval doesn't. But you've been conditioned to need the approval more than the outcome. So you dilute your choices to make them acceptable. You round your edges so no one's offended. And what's left? A version of you designed by committee. Smooth. Acceptable. Forgettable. Machiavelli says be sharp. Be definite. Let some people hate it. That clarity, that polarity, that's what creates presence. Trying to be everything to everyone makes you nothing to anyone. Comment approved if you've ever twisted yourself into a pretzel trying to make someone okay with your choice. Let's see how many of us have done this. If you're feeling the weight lift, if you're realizing you've been carrying other people's opinions like they matter more than your reality, subscribe. This is where you stop performing and start operating. Let's bring it together now. The 11th lie: Machiavelli was amoral, so you shouldn't listen. This is the final lie. The master lock. They told you Machiavelli had no morals, so his observations are corrupted, poisonous, dangerous to your soul. That's how they kept you from reading him seriously. But here's what they didn't tell you. Machiavelli wasn't amoral. He separated morality from mechanism. He said this is how power works, regardless of whether it should. And understanding how it works doesn't make you evil. It makes you aware. A doctor studies disease. That doesn't mean they love cancer. A lawyer studies crime. That doesn't make them a criminal. Machiavelli studied power. And they made sure you'd think studying it meant endorsing it. That's the trick. Conflate understanding with agreement. So anyone who learns how manipulation works must be a manipulator. Anyone who sees through social games must be a sociopath. It's a brilliant trap. It keeps good people ignorant and bad people informed. But you're not here to stay ignorant. You're here because something in you knows the game is real. And refusing to learn the rules doesn't make you noble. It makes you a permanent victim. Machiavelli's great crime was making power legible. He turned the invisible visible. And the people who benefit from your confusion couldn't allow that. So they didn't refute him. They demonized him. Because if they refuted him, you'd read him to see who's right. But if they demonized him, you'd avoid him entirely. And it worked. For 500 years, his name has been a slur. And the men running the world read him in private while you avoided him in public. That ends now. You've spent the last hour unlearning their framing. Seeing Machiavelli not as a villain, but as a translator. He translated the language of power into something you could understand. And for that, they buried him under lies. But you dug him up. You're here. And now you have a choice. Go back to the comfortable lies. Pretend the world runs on fairness, kindness, and karma. Pretend the people ahead of you just worked harder and wanted it more. Pretend your authenticity will eventually be rewarded. Or accept what Machiavelli showed you. That power has rules. That those rules are amoral. That you can use them for good or ill. But ignoring them doesn't make you virtuous. It makes you blind. The men who understand this, who've read Machiavelli not as a monster but as a map, they're the ones building empires while you're building excuses. Not because they're smarter. Because they're willing to see clearly. And now you can too. Comment awake if you're done pretending. If you're ready to see power as it is, not as you wish it were. And if you made it this far, if you stayed through the discomfort, the reframes, the parts that stung, then subscribe. Not for me. For you. Because this channel is for the ones who choose clarity over comfort. And you just proved you're one of them. There's more. So much more. This was the introduction. The revelation that you were lied to. But now comes the application. How to actually use this. How to move in the world with Machiavellian awareness without becoming the villain they warned you about. That's the next level. And it's only for the ones who subscribe. The ones who commit. Because I'm not here to entertain the curious. I'm here to train the serious. So subscribe. Right now. Then watch what comes next. Because everything changes when you stop playing their game and start playing yours. You were lied to about Machiavelli. And it was all on purpose. Now you know why. The question is, what will you do with that knowledge? Will you go back to sleep? Or will you finally wake up and take what's yours? The choice, as always, was never theirs to make. It was always yours. And deep down, you already know what you're going to choose. Don't you?